The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Listen to me! They are coming for the walls of reality itself! But we are the breach! We are the line! I'm Ray the Hammer Miller, and I have the documents. I have the white papers that the globalists tried to shred in the middle of the night.
And I'm Will Sterling, trying to figure out if there's a single person left in Washington, D.C. who doesn't actively despise the people they represent.
They don't just despise us, Will. They want to harvest our cognitive functions and replace them with a demonic algorithm. But we're not going anywhere. We've got a crucial show today. We're digging into the absolute collapse of the hate industry at the SPLC, and we're looking at why the Navy is decapitating its leadership while we're in a shooting war with Iran.
It's a busy one. Yesterday, we were talking about those missing aerospace scientists, the missing 11, and Kash Patel taking a flamethrower to the Atlantic with that lawsuit. But today we've got something even bigger happening right here at the network.
That's right. Neural Network Media is evolving. We've upgraded the vocal capabilities. We're bringing in more hosts across the board, and we're adding special segments because the war for your mind is accelerating, and we need more firepower.
I mean, literally, the tech is finally catching up to the truth. But before we get into the cyborg takeover, Ray, did you see what happened to the SPLC?
See it? Will, I've been screaming about this since 2014. I have been telling you that the Southern Poverty Law Center is a partisan smear machine designed to manufacture the very extremism it claims to fight. And now, the DOJ, the actual Department of Justice, has dropped an 11-count federal indictment on them.
It's incredible. I mean, really? Wire fraud, bank fraud, and money laundering? According to Breitbart and The Guardian, the DOJ is alleging that the SPLC secretly funneled over $3 million to, get this, the very extremist groups that we're supposed to be watching.
It's the business model. It's a hate hoax revenue stream. They pay some guy in a bedsheet to say something crazy, then they use that quote to scare some grandma in Connecticut into sending them a check for $50. It's a closed-loop system of manufactured terror.
But the details are what's truly wild. They had code names for these informants. They called them the Friends. And they use shell companies with names like Fox Photography to hide the payments. One imperial wizard was getting paid substantial amounts, and a neo-Nazi informant apparently banked over $1 million between 2014 and 2023. Ray, think about it. Without the SPLC's funding, some of these groups might have just dissolved into irrelevance years ago.
They would have been gone. They were on life support, and the SPLC was the IV bag. They are the vampires. They need the blood of racism to stay alive. If the world actually became a colorblind meritocracy, the SPLC's $400 million endowment would dry up. So what do? They invent the monsters.
It's the demand-supply gap of racism. The demand from the ruling class for racism is at an all-time high, but the supply is at an all-time low. So the SPLC stepped in to bridge the gap. But now Todd Blanche and Kash Patel at the FBI are saying, not so fast. This isn't just a PR disaster. This is a federal criminal conspiracy to defraud donors.
Listen to me. This is exactly why you need Brain Force Plus. Your brain needs to be firing on all cylinders to see through these shell games. These people are demonic. They create a problem, sell you the solution, and then use the profits to buy another vacation home in the Cayman.
I mean, really? Why are they doing this? It's because they hate you. They hate the listener. They want you to believe your neighbor is a secret insurgent, so you'll look to the experts at the SPLC for guidance. But hey, speaking of people who hate the way things are currently running, Have you seen what's happening at the Pentagon?
You mean the total purge of anyone with a pulse?
Pretty much. Navy Secretary John Phelan, effective immediately, he's out. Just gone. The Pentagon says he was given the choice, resign or be fired by Pete Hegseth.
Phelan was a donor. He was a businessman. We are in a naval blockade with Iran. The Strait of Hormuz is a tinderbox, and we're firing the guy at the top?
Well, that's the thing. Phelan was pushing for the Trump-class battleship, these massive, heavy steel behemoths. But Hegseth and the new acting secretary, Hung Cao, are apparently focused on what they call the Golden Fleet.
Who? AI drones, robot ships, interdimensional tech.
I mean, it's smaller, uncrewed, autonomous vessels. They're moving away from the big iron. But doing this in the middle of a conflict? Cao is a 25-year combat vet, which I like. He's warrior culture through and through. But the transition? During a blockade? It feels, I don't know, a bit chaotic?
Chaos is the only way to break the bureaucracy, Will. The Navy is a bloated corpse of procurement contracts. We need battleships. I want ships that look like they were forged in the heart of a dying star. But if Cao can get the AI to actually target the globalist transport ships, maybe there's hope.
Speaking of breaking the bureaucracy, how about a little win for the rule of law?
Finally! You talking about the Ninth Circuit?
Exactly. The Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, usually not the friendliest place for common sense, just blocked California's No Vigilantes Act. This was the law that tried to force ICE agents to show ID and prohibited them from wearing masks during raids.
It was a Kill the ICE Agent Act. That's what it was. They wanted to make sure every gang member in MS-13 knew exactly who was coming for them, so they could set up an ambush.
It's crazy. I mean, really? California trying to regulate how federal agents do their jobs? Judge Mark Bennett basically told the state to sit down. He said California cannot, quote, directly regulate the United States in its performance of governmental functions.
It's the Supremacy Clause, Will. It's basic. But the left doesn't care about the Constitution. They care about their sanctuary voting blocks. Look at Houston. ICE just grabbed 277 people in 2 weeks. Child predators, gang members, and the sanctuary crowd is crying about it.
I mean, think about it. 2 weeks, 277 people? That's an assembly line of criminality that's been allowed to fester. And at the same time, we have MS-13 members being sentenced for murders ordered directly from El Salvador. The wall isn't just a physical barrier, Ray. It's a jurisdictional one.
They don't want you to know this, but they are using these gangs as a private army. They are the shock troops for the ruling class to destabilize the suburbs. And while we're talking about destabilizing the suburbs, Will, have you seen what they're showing our kids on TV?
You mean the FCC investigation?
Yes! Brendan Carr. Finally, someone at the FCC has the stones to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't be smuggling gender ideology into shows rated TV-Y.
It's the screen safeguard. Carr is launching a public inquiry because parents are reporting that shows for young children, toddlers, Ray, are featuring transgender and non-binary themes without any content warnings.
It's psychological warfare. They are trying to rewrite the biological hard coding of the human species before these kids can even tie their shoes.
And look at the data coming out of Planned Parenthood. A 40% surge in gender-affirming services at the regional clinics. At the same time, they're cutting back on traditional services. They are pivoting their entire business model toward the transition of children.
Ha! 'Cause it's a lifetime subscription. If you can get a kid on hormone blockers and surgeries, you've got a customer for 60 years. It's the same thing as the SPLC. Follow the money. They manufacture the identity crisis, then they sell the remedy that just happens to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And people are waking up. Look at the American Library Association. They're having a Bud Light moment. States are defunding them left and right because they're more interested in activism than, books.
I don't want books from those people. I want my kids reading about the founding fathers and how to survive in the wilderness when the power grid goes down, which it will.
Hey, before we get back to the analysis, let's deal with a hard reality. Real independence isn't free. This entire network, from this show to our flagship, The Neural Daily, exists because one man, Eric Christensen, decided to build it himself. He didn't ask for a government grant. He invested his own capital and technical expertise to architect a media platform that respects your intelligence. If you value that kind of meritocratic building, back it up. And don't limit yourself to just the politics. Get the full strategic picture by subscribing to the Neural Daily and the rest of the network. Support the builder and you support the mission.
Eric's a builder, Will. Unlike these people at DHS. Have you seen this Julia Varvaro story?
The sugar daddy scandal? I mean, really? She's 29 years old. She's the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Counterterrorism? And she's on a site called Seeking.com under the name Alessia?
Marketing seductive sophistication, while she has access to top-secret counterterrorism data. Her partner allegedly dropped 40 grand on her in 3 months. Aruba, Italy, Cartier jewelry.
The security risk here is massive. I mean, think about it. If a business executive can spend $40,000 on you, what can a foreign intelligence service spend? This is a textbook blackmail scenario, and she's in a high-level security role?
They don't vet these people for character, Will. They vet them for how well they'll follow orders. She dismissed it as a relationship turned sour. Listen to me. If you are in counterterrorism and you have unreported income from a sugar daddy, you are a walking national security breach, period.
It's the collapse of standards. Everywhere you look, the people in charge are either corrupt, compromised, or just plain incompetent. Like the energy situation. Have you seen what Maine just did?
They banned data centers. Finally!
LD 307, a statewide ban on large-scale data center construction. 11 other states are following suit. Why? Because the AI gold rush is sucking the power grid dry.
It's the vampires! I told you! These data centers need 20 megawatts, 50 megawatts. They are pulling more juice than entire cities. And who pays for it? The residential ratepayer. Your electricity bill goes up so a chatbot can write a poem about kale.
It's literally a digital wall. We're pushing for AI, but we don't have the copper and the turbines to power it. In the UK, small businesses are rationing fuel because energy costs have doubled. We're heading for a Middle Ages scenario while we're trying to build cyberpunk.
It's by design. They want you in the dark. They want you cold, hungry, and dependent on a government ration battery. And while you're sitting in the dark, you've got to worry about the streets. Did you see the infant in Times Square?
A 6-month-old baby girl. Just left in a stroller at 11 p.m. Broadway and 44.
Left by a father after an argument in a homeless shelter. This is the vibrant city they promised us.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, really? A child abandoned in the most crowded place on Earth? And then you look at the officials. An NYC official, Tauheed Dewan, arraigned on subway sexual abuse charges. An off-duty Manhattan DA aide busted for groping people on a Queens platform.
The Guardians are the predators. The shelter system is a meat grinder. They are spending billions of our tax dollars to house people who then abandon their kids in the street. It's a moral collapse that statistics can't capture.
They tell us crime is down, Ray. They give us the charts. But the charts don't mention the baby in Times Square or the DA aide groping people on the 7 train. Which brings us to the biggest story of the day. The efficiency journey.
You mean the human obsolescence journey?
Exactly. Look at the numbers from Wall Street. The 6 largest banks, JP Morgan, Citi, BofA, they just reported $47 billion in combined quarterly profits. $47 billion, up 18% from last year.
And what did they do with that profit? Did they hire more people? Did they lower fees?
No, they fired 15,000 people in 3 months. 15,000!
Because of AI. Brian Moynihan at Bank of America admitted it. He said they shed 1,000 positions just by applying technology.
Think about it. This isn't teller jobs. This is front office professional work. Reading legal documents, approving accounts, generating invoices. The white-collar class, the people who went to the right schools and played by the rules, they are being replaced by an algorithm that doesn't ask for a 401k.
It's a consumption collapse in the making. If you fire everyone who earns a salary, who's going to buy the products that the AI-powered companies make?
The ruling class doesn't care. They're focused on the margins. But here's the kicker, Ray. While they're firing humans to save money, the AI itself is being weaponized against them.
The Mythos breach.
Yes, Anthropic, the company behind Claude. Reports are coming out that an unauthorized group gained access to Mythos, which is a potentially dangerous, exclusive AI model.
They opened the box, Will. I have been warning about this.
It's terrifying. Salesforce architects are warning of critical danger. If you can breach the most secure AI companies in the world, you can turn these models into weapons for automated exploitation. You can crash the banks. You can rewrite the legal code. You can shut down the power grid with a single command.
And they're doing it while they're firing the very people, the humans, who would be the last line of defense. They are handing the keys of the kingdom to a demon and then firing the guards.
It's the ultimate irony. The efficiency journey ends with a total security collapse because there's nobody left who actually knows how to pull the plug.
I am pulling the plug. We are the circuit breaker. Listen to me. They want you to think this is inevitable, but it's not. We can build our own systems. We can support builders like Eric. We can take our supplements, keep our brains sharp, and refuse to be optimized by their demonic software.
I mean, literally. It's about common sense. If it looks like a scam, it's a scam. If they say they're doing it for your safety while they leave babies in Times Square, they're lying.
It's over for the globalists. We have the documents, we have the truth, and we have the warrior spirit. Stay alive, stay focused, and for the love of everything holy, get some super male vitality before they try to ban bone broth.
That's the show for today. Keep asking the simple questions because they hate it when you do. We'll be back tomorrow to see what else has collapsed while we were sleeping.
The war continues.